The fourth principle, polarity. Picture a cosmic dance, light and shadow, love and hate, inspiration and fear, all of it orchestrated by a single truth. That truth is the fourth Hermetic principle, the law of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. And here is the line that turns the whole law on its head. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. This is the foundation of polarity, and it reveals that everything in existence is connected through opposing poles. Hot and cold, light and darkness, positive and negative. These are not enemies locked in eternal war. They are complementary, two forces of the same current, coexisting to create balance and motion. The law goes far beyond the physical. It operates in your thoughts, your emotions, your daily experience. Have you noticed that happiness can only be understood by someone who has known sadness? They are two sides of one emotional coin. Light could not be named without shadow. Opposites don't merely coexist. They depend on each other to have any meaning at all. So understanding polarity is essential to understanding both yourself and the world. It asks you to stop seeing reality as a battlefield of extremes and start seeing it as a woven fabric, where every polarity contributes to the whole. Instead of choosing sides, you learn to navigate between them, and you do that through the law of vibration, which we'll return to shortly. This is not abstract. Polarity runs through the most ordinary moments. Cooking a meal. You apply heat, positive, to raw, cold food, negative, and the interaction of extremes produces something new. Food ready to eat. Without that polarity, no transformation could occur. It shows up in society and politics too. Conservatism and progressivism, right and left. They seem to be at war, but both are necessary. One provoking change, the other ensuring stability. When one pole dominates completely, the system turns rigid or descends into chaos. The tension between extremes is what creates dialogue, and ideally, progress. In the end, everything is one spectrum. Nowhere is polarity more powerful than in human emotion. Love is expansive. It dissolves barriers, connects us, aligns us with something greater. Fear, its opposite pole, is contractive. It isolates, builds walls, drives us into instincts of protection and survival. These two are the foundation of all creation. And the highest alchemy is the transmutation from one pole to the other, from extreme fear to unconditional love. That is what union with the divine actually means. And notice how emotions are never static. They flow from one pole to the other like a pendulum. The first step to mastering your emotional states is simply recognizing that oscillation for what it is. Polarity is written into existence itself. Life can only be understood because death exists, and the reverse. The leaves fall in autumn to feed the soil in winter, so life can return in spring. Even your smallest choices reflect the law. Every choice means renouncing an alternative. Choose to wake early and meditate, and you give up the comfort of sleep. Choose a spiritual path, and you step away from a purely material one. There is no absolute right or wrong, only the dynamic balance between poles that you choose to live. Look at the atom, the foundation of all matter, and you find polarity in its purest form. Protons, positive charge at the nucleus, the centralizing force that holds the structure together. Electrons, negative charge, orbiting, the dynamic force generating motion and energy. These opposites interact to create stability. Without that electrical polarity, atoms could not bind into molecules, and matter as we know it would not exist. The attraction between them structures everything from the air you breathe to the stars overhead. Everything in the manifested universe is energy oscillating between two poles, and vibration determines where on that spectrum the energy falls. You see it in electromagnetic waves, the basis of radio, television, the internet, and even your own biology. These waves are made of two fields oscillating in opposing poles. The electric field, positive and negative, and the magnetic field, north and south, in constant interaction, propelling the wave forward. It is the polarity between them that lets energy travel and carry signals from one point to another. The light you see, the Wi-Fi you use, the electricity in your walls alternating endlessly between positive and negative charge. All of it is polarity in motion. Now, here is where the law becomes a tool for conscious creation. When it works in harmony with vibration, polarity reveals the two extremes of any spectrum. Vibration is the movement between them. Take temperature. Hot and cold are not separate things. They are two names for opposite points on one spectrum. And by raising or lowering vibration, you move along it, turning cold into heat. Apply that logic anywhere. Say you're facing financial hardship. You can focus on lack, complain, sink into a victim's mindset, vibrating at the frequency of scarcity, the low end of the spectrum. Or you can deliberately practice gratitude for what you already have and visualize prosperity as a present reality, adjusting your vibration to the frequency of abundance, the high end. Do that, and you naturally begin attracting opportunities aligned with that pole. You may think this is nonsense. Good. Then test it. The alchemist's laboratory is their own mind. Run the experiment yourself and then decide, from your own experience, whether this is how reality works. Heraclitus said, "Struggle is the mother of all things." The tension between opposites is what creates movement, growth, evolution. There is no progress without opposition, no evolution without challenge. The key to real wisdom is to understand the necessity of opposites while transcending the illusion that they are separate. Don't reject or battle one pole. Integrate both within yourself. When you face a difficulty, instead of fixating on the problem, the negative pole, you choose to see the lesson or the opportunity it carries, the positive pole. This turns adversity into fertile ground. True freedom comes when you realize you are not at the mercy of these opposites. You are the consciousness behind the polarity, capable of choosing which side to align with, and by choosing, shaping your reality. So the question is always in your hands. What are you creating in your life today? Are you choosing to feed fear or love?